Good morning.
Here we go. Restaurant Morning Show. Joe Bates, Adam Behringer, industry veterans, and we're just becoming more and more veterans.
We are. The gray hair shows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Good to see you.
typically we talk about headlines, and then we talk about a big, kind of a big topic. And the big topic that we'll talk about today is a vision statement, and also how that ties in to a mission, because we talked about a mission statement on the last episode. So, but headlines, let's go ahead. Why don't you tell us what you got? Something that piqued your interest.
A couple things over the last, news cycle, if you will, and since the last episode. So,
hang on a second. Before we do that, last night was a big
That was a big game.
It was a big game.
That was a big game. I can't believe we both stayed up for the whole thing.
Whew.
Yeah, I couldn't turn it off, though. So congratulations to the Florida Gators winning the national championship in basketball in a hard-fought game. And congratulations to Houston, my grandfather's alma mater.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And although he was pulling for Florida, I was a little surprised.
Awesome.
That was a good game. Top of the sports news was that. But we're here for the Restaurant Morning Show. So, seeing a couple things. Hooters. Bankruptcy, been at the top of the news cycle for 3 or 4 days. And restaurateurs, all doom and gloom. Another restaurant's claiming bankruptcy. Right. You know what? There's a lot of reasons why a restaurant might get there to bankruptcy, right? Hooters is not going away. They're restructuring.
Right.
My understanding is some of the original owners and some of the more profitable franchisees are buying up some of the less profitable locations and restructuring it a little bit in a way to help pay back some of this debt. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about is that type of brand a dying brand? I don't know. We just recently got a Twin Peaks in our area within the last couple of years.
Have you been?
We've been twice. I don't know that it's a restaurant for us. But, but at least that model seems to be, that's a brand new restaurant in a high volume area. So again, does the model work? I think there's always a group of people that like to go to that restaurant or that type of restaurant. So we'll keep an eye out on it. And then the other thing that I'm seeing a lot of is tariffs.
Yeah.
And, and I think it's got some people nervous. Let's put it that way. What's your thoughts on?
Well, so the way I think about it is, one, it's got people nervous. I think from the standpoint, a lot of 401ks, a lot of investment accounts have been really hammered over the last week. Sure. I mean, one of the biggest drops, 2-day drops in history of the stock exchange. And that does have people nervous. How it affects the restaurant industry, I believe that it affects us from the standpoint of any goods that come in that are imported from China, that are manufactured there, which are a lot. All of our to-go supplies, or the majority of it, all the packaging. And
you've got produce coming up from
Mexico. Coming in from Mexico, and I know that the tariffs aren't as much from Mexico or Canada. And then Canada, it's still one of our largest trading partners. So I think my advice to independent restaurant owners, do your weekly inventories.
Right.
If you're seeing price increases, you need to make adjustments, whether that adjustment is to pass on the cost to your guests, or is it to change the way you're packaging to-go food. You got to get creative, and right now is the time to do it.
And we're in an industry that's, historically got such low margins.
I know.
So just a little tweak like this can throw some guy, derail some places.
Right.
But if you're not looking at your numbers,
got to look at them every day.
Keep an eye on it.
So I did another headline because we talk about this, and half jokingly, we mentioned that Cheesecake Factory was revamping their menu. They were taking 13 items off and putting 22 on, but that's their thing. That's what they do. The article that I read today, and I think this is really what should resonate with our independent restaurant owners. IHOP is looking for ways to reduce the amount of prep to make their menu easier to execute, easier for franchisees to then make money, and easier for the execution in the kitchen, to the cooks, to the servers. So I think that it's such an important aspect that all independent operators need to take a look at their menu. How difficult is it to prep the items on your prep list, and how difficult is it to execute those? And are there ways to gain efficiencies and look at every single item on there?
Can you go from scratch to near scratch? What do they call knife to whisk?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So without sacrificing your quality,
Right. No. Yeah.
can you put in some efficiencies that honestly help your labor?
Right.
And
But again, that has to fit in with your brand, which will
Right.
kind of lead us into the next part of that discussion is, what's your mission statement?
Yeah.
And how does your mission statement resonate with your guests? And we talked about mission statement last week, and the mission statement is what we do every single day. It's what the restaurant does every day. And ours was really, I don't want to say it was confusing because I know exactly what our mission statement meant.
But we went for a long time, and you went for a long time before you and I partnered to not having a mission statement.
We knew what we were doing, but we didn't
Right.
have it
But
written
it was
down.
here.
Yeah, it wasn't codified, and it wasn't explained to the entire team. And when we were working with Donald Burns, we crafted that mission statement, we crafted a vision statement, and we just recently revisited it, and none of our teams really knew
It was long.
the mission statement. But now it's to delight our guests and create lasting memories.
Boom.
Boom. Everybody.
Easy.
Easy to remember, clear, concise. They know when they come in, their mission, delight our guests and create lasting memories.
Yep.
And then that's what we do every day. And equally important is having a vision statement, where you want to be in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years. What's the vision of the restaurant?
Right.
And I know that we're working on ours. We've had a new GM. We're getting ready to go to California for a while, and to bring them in and let them see the essence of Sonoma County, Napa Valley. How do we bring that back into the communities that we serve?
Yeah. And everybody's vision's different.
Sure.
Not everybody wants 10, 15, multiple restaurants. Maybe your vision is, I want one great restaurant that I can leave a legacy in.
Yeah.
And then how do you do that? Craft that vision around that.
Yeah.
So everybody's vision is different. I think the important part is you've got to get the vision out of your head, and you've got to get it in front of your teams.
Right.
So everybody knows where that GPS is.
And so our restaurant, SoNapa Grille, we specialize in wines from Sonoma County and Napa Valley. And how do we bring that back into the communities that we serve, right? And how do we pay homage to those two great growing regions?
Well, why don't we, we're doing something special tonight,
We're doing
right?
something special tonight, and I really think this is awesome. It's called A Night in the Vineyard, and it is benefiting the Monique Burr Foundation for Children. And I just read it real quick. Join us for an unforgettable evening at our 4th annual A Night in the Vineyard, where fine wine and gourmet food meet philanthropy and child safety, as we gather to commemorate Child Abuse Prevention Month. And I could go on and read more about it, but it's us supporting a charity with what we do. And that is wines. And I just think this is the coolest name, A Night in the Vineyard. And for us to be able to support the Jacksonville community and give back, I just think it's a really neat thing for us to do.
And we do it because we want to do it, and because it's a great cause. And we've gotten to know this group, the Monique Burr Foundation. And
4th year doing it.
4th year doing it.
And that's us up here right now. We're not in the studio.
We're
on
at our
site.
Jacksonville location. We've got the restaurant closed down for the night. We do, there's tents and the stage and food stations and wine stations. And it's all people who want to come and support this fantastic group that helps children and right here in the Jacksonville community.
So just really recapping everything we touched on. We touched on tariffs. We touched on the Hooters. Clearwater, Florida.
Out of Clearwater, Florida. I did not know that.
Yeah. We touched on the Gators winning the national championship.
Congratulations, winning the Natty.
Yeah, we talked about IHOP and them taking a look at their menu and how they can make it more efficient. And then we talked about mission and vision.
Yeah.
And mission is kind of like if you're driving the car, you got your hands on the wheel,
Yeah.
right? But the vision is the GPS to tell you where you're going.
Yep.
And so
And
mission, vision.
Share those with the team.
Yeah, and you got to share them with the team in order for them to be impactful.
Yeah. So let's go be impactful today.
Let's go get after it, Joe.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Thanks.